So, after the end of the program, or at the end of the program tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we do not want to walk away with empty hands. We have work to do at home. We do not just want to go to conferences and shuffle around papers. We have to implement, this is the big theme of the entire World Water Forum this year. And it's also, of course, the big theme for us here in this room who are focusing on the role of local and regional authorities. So this outcome document, you will find it already in your program book. In your program book, you have the English and the Korean version already. And maybe some of you have already briefly read through it. It builds on the foundation provided by the Istanbul Water Consensus 6 years ago at the 5th Forum. It builds on the process around the Millennium Development Goals that are now finished and will be followed by the Sustainable Development Goals, which will hopefully be endorsed in New York in September this year. But we also have the upcoming Habitat 3 process, again, very important for local and regional authorities to advocate for their roles in urban development. We also have the Water and Cities dialogue that has gone along with these processes. As I said, the expectation is that this 7th World Water Forum really leads to a push in implementation of better water management and water policies. So this is reflected in the document that we have drafted and that we put to discussion for you. It has two major parts. The first part speaks to you here in the room. It speaks to local and regional authorities. And it outlines a strategy that you can yourself take with you and attempt to implement at home. And it has a second part, which is talking to national governments, because you cannot do everything alone. You need the coordination with the other levels of government in your country. For the first strategy, for the part one of the strategy, there is with New York, where the UN nations come together in September to endorse the Sustainable Development Goals. This is sort of a milestone which actually defines a first phase from here in Chongchu, from here in April until September. You may want, as part of your local strategy, get together with the other local authorities in your countries, with the help of your associations, and advocate and lobby for the endorsement of the water goal that is so far within the draft of the Sustainable Development Goals. But, of course, it needs your government and many governments, national governments, to actually accept it, approve it, and endorse it. This will be very important for you at the local level as well. But after this has been adopted, work actually only starts. So you can continue working at home, and you have to accelerate solutions at home. They always have to be locally tailored, but they should follow some of the principles that Bert has already outlined for us. I will not go through all the small print here. Take your time later today, maybe in the evening, maybe when you're back to your hotel, to read through this more thoroughly. One of the most important points in going ahead is really to join forces with other partners, to join forces with other local authorities in your country or globally, with your water operators, with other levels of government, with your regional or state or provincial governments and with your national governments, that you work together with universities and research institutions and with all water users in other sectors. Then you will see the second part, which is looking at national government and what they should be doing to set the right framework conditions for you to be able to operate as you need to respond also to your local needs. Again, I'm not going into the small print. You can read this more quietly by yourself. So, what is the process with this document here in this conference? when you're walking out later, you will find a separate printout of the document in 4 different languages outside at the table on the left-hand side, where there's also a few other materials. So we encourage you to pick up the copy in your language or the language that you can read. And we encourage you to read it thoroughly and come back with your comments. Just put your comments in handwriting on the document. Please try the best of your handwriting. Whatever we cannot read, we have to necessarily ignore, and that would be a real shame. You will also find a box outside, so leave your comments, then your sheet of paper with your comments in that box. We need them. We don't have so much time, so we need to have your feedback or wishes for changes or amendments by tomorrow at the coffee break. So we can receive your feedback until 11 a.m. tomorrow. We then have, between the international partnership that you found reflected with the logos at the bottom of this slide, there will be a small team, an editorial team, sitting together, reviewing all your comments and checking, in how far we can amend the document to make it suit to your expectations. After lunch tomorrow, there will be a session where we will present the document again and explain to you what potential changes we have made, maybe no changes, maybe you're happy with it, maybe the one or other change, and then we hope that the document will be endorsed from your side. And then we can take it home, and we hope that it will also be used in the next days in other elements of the program of the World Water Forum. So I think with this we can conclude. The scene is set now.
Let me push the last button. May you have a successful conference.
Thank you.